Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting success, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience in the South and us tuning in online around the world. Thanks to our friends at iHeartRadio. We're glad you all could join us as well. We're excited to welcome actress Chloe Ray Warmoth to our program today. We're going to talk to Chloe not only about for her to do what she loves as an actress, but also what it's been like for her to share the experience with all of us. One of the great things Chloe has been able to be a part of is a great film I had a chance to watch called Greatland. We'll talk to Chloe about that project and also let you guys know how to stay connected with her. Chloe, thank you so much for the time today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Cyrus.
Hey, glad to do it. So we're going to get to Greatland here in a bit. I want to begin by talking about this experience for you, Chloe. What has it been like for you to do what you love as an actress and to be able to share that experience with the rest of the world?
It's been beyond wonderful. Acting's always been my favorite thing in the world, and the more I grow up and the more I get deeper into the industry, the more I get chances to express myself through like different weird roles and in scripts that like otherwise don't meet the conventional story structure and stuff like that. And it was very, very cool to be able to play Ugly Duck, who she is just so different from everyone else. And I think what was very cool when I was watching the film is that they really made her stand out as just looking different visually than everyone else. And it was really very cool to see that.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things I did when I was prepping for this segment, Chloe, is I went on YouTube like every big nerd does these days when they're trying to be able to get a bigger picture of who they're talking with. And one of the first things I saw was your YouTube channel. And it was so funny to be able to see you being able to do, kind of telling, your audience about you, why you were starting the channel. I mean, what has that experience been like? Because one of the things you talk about, I introduced you as an actress, but also you have other interests as well that I found out about in that video. You like to sing, so you have other things you like to do. Have you always known that you were a person that was creative?
I think so. I started competitive dance when I was about 2 years old. Not competitive, but I started dance when I was 2 years old and transitioned into competitive probably around 8 years old. But I've always loved being on stage, and my mom would always make fun of me because when I would get in trouble, I'd cry and I'd stare in the mirror and, like, look at how I was crying and, like, study myself in the mirror. And I would do all sorts of weird little things, and she knew. She would always say I knew really early on.
Wow. And now here you are being able to put all of that to great use in projects like Greatland we're going to be talking about.
Singing, being able to dance and sing and do all of that stuff is very also just incredibly helpful, and we get to utilize it in weird parts of things that you would never expect in the industry. So it's been really, really wonderful with that.
Have you gotten used to the idea of having fans at this place, Chloe? I mean, because as you've been going from project to project, people have gotten to recognize you and to follow this journey. Has that become something that you've gotten used to?
Never. I don't think I will ever get used to it. I will be in public and someone will notice me or say something, and I don't even think it's me. It's the funniest thing. It's still a major shock to me, and every time that someone has seen something and tells me they've seen it, it touches my heart so much because someone took their own time to go out and watch this thing I've done. And as I get deeper into the industry and the projects that I do, like Greatland, continue to be more accessible to the public and to my friends, it's really cool to see my friends and to see people all around me watch the movies I'm in.
Yeah. What a great thing. And I think, too, the cool thing about your journey over the past few years, Chloe, has been you've been able to do not only film but also television. I mean, of course, I think the first time I remember seeing your name was with Fuller House. I think, do you still have those wow moments at this point of not only, of course, doing what you love, but working with people that are just as passionate about what they love as you are?
100%. I think that's what makes acting so special, and that's what makes every job in the industry and on film sets so special is you're all collaborating to create this beautiful piece of art that you just want to touch someone, to touch the emotions of an audience. And I think especially in film as compared to TV, that energy is reflected on set, and everyone is just so enthusiastic and passionate, and you could never, ever make it without all the help of all those people. The editor adds a new perspective when he's editing. The sound mixing adds a whole new perspective, and I think each little collaborative effort is what makes Greatland great.
Well, I think that's one of the cool things, and one of the things that we've been able to notice as well. For those who are just tuning in, either on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. Chloe Ray Warmoth is our guest for this segment. We're talking with her not only about her acting journey, but also what it's been like for her to share that with all of you. So talk to us about Greatland. As I mentioned, it is available now. I saw it through our partners at Amazon, but it's available on the other video-on-demand services. How did you first find out about the film?
I ended up, I had a pretty typical process with Greatland. I went in for like an initial audition, and then I think we had 2 rounds of callbacks, and I remember it being a very scary experience at first because I knew a lot of the girls being called back, and I in a very positive way, like friends that I love and who are really talented, but that always psychs me out being able to like know the talent I'm up against.
Right.
But the audition, what was so wonderful is on my final audition for the project, the lead actor, Armin, was in the room with me, and we got to do this really, really sad scene. If you've seen the movie, it's the scene where my dad, Mr. Lee, it's in the very beginning, where my dad, Mr. Lee, gets taken away from me. And so it's a very, very emotional scene. And I got to do it in the audition room with him, and I fell into his arms in the audition and started bawling my eyes out. And I remember, like, I walked out feeling so good.
Yeah. I think, that's one of the great things. I want to say that I think for a lot of people, and I'll talk around this, Chloe, so I won't ruin it for those who haven't seen the film, because we want them to definitely see it and share their thoughts. But what I thought was so cool, and I told you I had a great conversation with the writer and director about the film, talking about it, was that it shows that even though we're dealing with a lot of crazy in 2020, watching a film like Greatland reminds you that, what, things could always be worse. It's one of those things.
It definitely takes the world situation right now and puts it in an absurdist, almost just shock value form, and you watch it and you're like, wow, like you can see it's almost like she has a crystal ball. It's crazy. It reminds me of just like looking into the future, almost like a legend or a warning for the future.
Yeah. I think one of the big things, and I thought it's a great message for us to take out of the film, even though it's very entertaining, there's some very thoughtful moments in it. One of them I thought, and I'm curious to see your thoughts about this being a part of it, was that you can't get through this world by yourself. I think that message really comes through in Greatland. Is that one of the things that you kind of came away with as well?
I totally think so. I was thinking about that yesterday, and it's not only that you can't get through in this world by yourself, you always have Mother with you if you are by yourself, and everything is controlled by this computer system, so you never really get that chance to be alone. And I think the human connection that me and Ulysses shared in the film is what would make that nice contrast between those. And it is a sense of being alone because you're with Mother all the time, but you don't have that real connection, and it's cool to be able to see both on the screen.
Yeah, I think that is so true. I mentioned to you and also mentioned to the writer and director, it's a big get to have Eric Roberts be a part of this film. And that's one of the things that she said was, wow, to be able to get him to be a part of, her film was such a treat. You got to share screen time with him. I mean, what is that? I mean, he's a legend, right? I mean, what was that like for you to be a part of this project with him?
He is so wonderful. We got to shoot at the Getty Villa, which is in Malibu, and I think recently even a portion of it burned down. So it was one of the later things that have been shot there since it's fully restored. So if you see the film, it's this beautiful, beautiful mansion on the side of a cliff looking over the ocean. And I got to spend the whole day there with Mr. Eric Roberts, and he is just the most committed person. Like when he takes his script and when he takes on a character, he goes all the way with it, and he is 100% in that role all day, always saying things or practicing things on the side, constantly immersing himself, and he's a really, really wonderful guy.
True, and it's been great to see him being a part of so many great television shows and films as well over the years as well. So that brings me
Yeah,
to this question
he does
for yourself.
not stop.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, you don't either. I mean, you've had a crazy 4 or 5 years, Chloe. I mean, it's like it seems like you've had such a consistent ride, and you've been able to share this with your fans. I asked you earlier about, have you gotten used to the idea of being fans? But one of the ways you stay connected with us, as you talked about Mother, I kind of smiled, but because it's through social media. What has that experience been like for you, especially in this year, right, where we are limited as to what we can do? How has social media kind of helped you to bridge that gap with your fans?
I've always loved social media because it caters to what you want it to be. You put in what you want, and you can get that out. So if you are following the pages that make you feel bad or make you not giving you the energy you want, then I can totally understand how it can be a negative thing. But for me this year especially, and especially in acting, it's been really wonderful to have social media because I've gotten to see and hear from so many people about my films and television shows. And in fact, after Greatland dropped, I probably got quite a few DMs of just people telling me how much it meant to them and how much they connected to the story. And if social media was not there for that, I never would have gotten to hear someone and see that the story really touched someone, which I really love.
Right. So true. And I know that there's going to be a lot more other projects. From what I understand, Chloe, you're already working on some great things for us to come out with. I know you may not be able to tell us much, but what are some of the things, or you can talk around some of the things. What are you looking forward to as we kind of say goodbye to 2020 and look forward to 2021?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to look forward to 2021. Right now, I have quite a few things going on. Another feature film that I was the star in just received distribution as well. It's called West Michigan, and it's a beautiful, beautiful film about just nature and love, and it follows a female protagonist, which is I. And so I'm really excited for everyone to see that, and that's also in the final stages. And also my television show, which I'm probably most well known for, Trevor and the Virgin, just got kind of picked up and adapted a little bit to be called Martha's Adventures, and then Martha and the Blonde. And they're making 2 more series around me, and so that's going to be the end of 2020, the beginning of 2021. We're going to start shooting those, all the new seasons, and I just read the script yesterday, so I'm really excited about those. And I also just had a big thesis film come out. It's called The One and Only, and it was produced by AFI, and it was just really, really wonderful too. So if anyone ever gets a chance to check out any of those things, I would super appreciate it.
Wow, that is a lot. That is so exciting. Congratulations to you. I tell people,
so
we here at Conversations, we've had a really exciting 2020. I know other people have had a interesting year, to say the least.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
We definitely want them to be able to have some great things coming out, but it's great that you have these things to look forward to. Not to put you on the spot, but as we wrap up here, I do want to ask you this question. I'm sure you get this question anyway, but what would you say to an individual, Chloe, who came to you and say, hey, what is the key? I mean, what do I need to do to break into the business? What do you normally say to them about the importance of not only going for it, but not giving up?
Persistence is key, 100%. No matter your level of talent or experience, you have to be persistent. Casting directors will often, even if you're incredible, not cast you on your first time into the room. It's about loyalty and persistence and continuing to get better and work hard and just be better every single time you get the opportunity to show someone. And in my personal experience and opinion, just homework with everything. Getting a script and taking the time to really break it down, to find every noun and replace it with something in your real life that'll bring you there, and really just take everything apart before you go on set, so when you get to be on set, you're ready to just play and have fun with the other actors.
Wow, what great advice. So you're hearing it from someone who definitely knows firsthand. So, Chloe, how can our audience stay connected with you?
You can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is Chloe Ray Warmoth, just my whole name together with no spaces, all lowercase.
All right, so make sure you guys are following Chloe. We'll make sure to tag Chloe also when we showcase this online as well. Chloe, congratulations to you again. Really appreciate this time, and looking forward to having you back on the program again.
Yeah, thank you so much, Cyrus. I've really enjoyed being here.
The pleasure is definitely all mine. But definitely want to thank our good friends at October Coast for setting up this chat with us for today, and thank all of you for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Remember to head over to your favorite video-on-demand site to be able to watch Greatland. Again, our partner is Amazon, but you can watch it on the other places as well, and definitely share your thoughts. I know the cast would love to know what you think. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Let's make today amazing. Take care.